I think we're live, man. Feels weird. Feels weird talking about NXT, man. I feel like I've abandoned NXT. You can't blame me, though. The show definitely does not feel the same. But believe it or not, I'm going to go easy on them today. I think we all know what the issues are. I think we all know how each other feels when it comes to NXT. It's very main roster-ish. Last night's show was definitely the most main roster-ish NXT show I think I've ever seen. But I also feel that NXT is in the middle of a transitional period. I do. They won't admit the issues that they have. You won't hear from HBK. You won't hear from Triple H. You won't hear from Road Dogg. You won't hear from any of those guys. But they definitely are not the same. Gauntlet Eliminator match. Kyle O'Reilly is the new #1 contender. Women's Battle Royal. And a god-awful tag team title situation that I'm not excited about at all. We're going to talk about it all, plus all of the COVID-19 NXT outbreak news. Tons of NXT news, man. Thank you guys for joining me live right here for NXT on Off the Script.
Delete! This is mine.
Alive with it. People still What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here tonight on Off the Script. This is your weekly NXT recap. This is your NXT review for last night's show, September 23rd, 2020. I think we all know what NXT's problem is, man. I'm not going to really harp on why NXT doesn't feel the same. I think you guys kind of get it. Most of you do anyway. There are a few geeks in the community that just refuse to believe the truth that comes out of this very show every single week. I think we all know what the issue is. Now, last night when I was watching NXT, it's never a bad show. It's not like Monday Night Raw level bad. Monday Night Raw is the worst show that I could possibly ever conceive of. That was one of the most embarrassing, most pathetic episodes of Monday Night Raw that I've ever seen in all my years of being a fan of WWE television. But last night wasn't a bad show for NXT. And I understand that they may be in a transitional period right now. I did not appreciate some of the things that they went out and did, like Pat McAfee, and just kind of moving away from what really brought them to the dance and what really made us fall in love with NXT. And I would hope that they realize that it's not the same. Now, they may be booking for the network, they may be booking for ratings, they may be booking for the demo, they may be booking because Vince McMahon is in their ear, which I absolutely think is the case. They may be booking to counter-program AEW. They should not worry about anything. AEW is not worrying about NXT. Whether you want to believe it or not, AEW is not worrying about NXT. They know week after week, on most weeks, it's a rarity if they lose. On most weeks, they have the demo and they have the ratings war, if you even want to call it that right now. One, they know. They don't need to go out there and prove anything to NXT. They don't need to go out there and one-up them. They're not doing weekly specials every single week. They're not counter-programming. They're just booking the show. If AEW was counter-programming purposely, if AEW was counter-programming intentionally, you would feel it. You would see it. I haven't felt that way, and if they did, I'd call them out on it. Absolutely, I would. There are geeks in the community that don't think I would, but I absolutely would. But they haven't done that. Every booking decision, every match, every storyline, all the continuity on AEW television is what NXT used to do. NXT is not following the old formula of NXT. And I don't know what happened in between. Something got thrown off the tracks somewhere. Because it's not the 2 hours. It's not. Because in October, November, going on into December, those November shows, when NXT was being portrayed in the Survivor Series, those late October shows, they were some of the best NXT shows that they've ever done. So something clearly got thrown off the tracks. I don't know what it is. I don't. Takeovers are suffering as well. NXT TakeOver is suffering as well. We didn't get a takeover during WrestleMania weekend. We did. We got TakeOver in your house. That was something that WWE did to kind of fill the gap of there not being an NXT TakeOver during WrestleMania weekend. And I don't know if that was originally in the plans to have a takeover in June. I don't think that is the case. But normally it goes WrestleMania and then SummerSlam weekend. If NXT wants to throw a takeover in the middle of all of that, then it is a reactionary thing. They do it because they feel like it's necessary, maybe to further a storyline, or maybe they just want to throw something in there as a standalone event away from a WWE show, main roster show, whatever the case may be. But it typically is Royal Rumble weekend. It's WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and then we go right back. Takeover schedules are altering. And if you guys seen the takeovers that happened this year, they seem to be moving away from anything main roster weekend and their standalone events now. I don't think this one is necessary. I don't. And I don't understand what the reason behind having this one is. Because after this one, we're getting one in December as well. And I want to give Triple H the benefit of the doubt here. I really do. I feel like this takeover is nothing more than reactionary. This takeover has no stories going into it. Let me rephrase that. It has stories going into it, and you would have to watch the show to realize what those stories are. But the Karrion Kross situation was thrown at them. They needed a new champion. They didn't want to have that title again off of TV for all that time. They wanted something. I thought they could have done that a lot better, but they opted to go with a quick decision. I didn't like the decision that they went with. I think they clickbaited all the fans when they guaranteed a world champion in that 60-minute Iron Man match, only to get a rematch between Balor and Cole the following week for the title where Balor won. It's a reactionary thing. It doesn't need to happen. The storylines that you are seeing are reactionary. Some of them are built up. Some of them do make sense, but no stories and no build has gone into it. That's what's made TakeOver so special. Like, I think if you're watching the show, legitimately, if you're watching the show, I think all of us, and we talked about this on the show, on the podcast here, everybody realizes that it would be Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. That is the main championship that WWE should be focusing on right there. The championship match that they should be focusing on is LeRae and Io Shirai. That's what we're getting. But it's reactionary. There's no story there. Candice LeRae won the Battle Royal last night. Great. We got what we wanted. But there's no story behind that outside of the one match that they had a couple of years back at TakeOver Toronto. Or TakeOver Canada, whatever the fuck it was called. It was SummerSlam weekend. I remember it. Best women's match all year. That year. Then we got Johnny Gargano versus Damien Priest for the North American Championship. How did that come about? What has Johnny Gargano done to get a championship match? You're only putting him in that situation because you need something for Damien Priest to do. And Damien Priest beat Timothy Thatcher. He's beaten Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed and Damien Priest might not look like a takeover match on paper right now that they are going to invest in quite yet. So let's insert Johnny Gargano. Johnny Takeover. Johnny Gargano could have a great match with a fucking Victoria's Secret window model. It doesn't matter. That's why he's there. But there's no storyline there. What has he done? Again, it's reactionary. Again, there's no story there. Finn Balor versus Kyle O'Reilly. Listen, I don't really give a shit that there's no story there. I hope that there is a story coming out of it. Maybe this means that the Undisputed Era is going to remain on NXT TV. And for our sake, for our mental health, for Undisputed Era's mental health, and the way that they're portrayed on WWE TV, it's probably for the best that they do stay in NXT. But there's no story there. Balor won the championship. Great. Balor beat Cole. Yes, we understand that. And now he's got to go and wrestle Kyle O'Reilly. So he's not done with the Undisputed Era yet. He's not. Does this mean that Kyle O'Reilly is going to lead the Undisputed Era? Is he going to win the World Championship? I don't know. In my honest opinion, in a reactionary situation, I would absolutely put the title on Kyle O'Reilly. I don't give a fuck. Kyle O'Reilly is a World Championship caliber performer. I did not mind at all that he won that match. In fact, if WWE plays their cards right and executes this match perfectly, the way that they should, this could be the match of the entire year for WWE if they want it to be. Could certainly be the best NXT match all year if they want it to be. And it could play into the story that Kyle O'Reilly got it done, Adam Cole did not, O'Reilly's for the greater good of the Undisputed Era, and they boot Adam Cole out of the Undisputed Era, and he makes his main roster debut. Or demotion. Whatever you want to call it. And they replace Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era with somebody else. I don't know. But it's a reactionary thing. I'm not going to complain about it because that match is going to be a fantastic match between two great professional wrestlers. So is Johnny Gargano and Damien Priest. So is Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. This takeover is reactionary. There's no build. Now, it might not seem like a takeover to everybody listening to me, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be a great in-ring takeover. And I wish that NXT would get back to doing what they do best and not worrying about anything. They got this COVID situation now happening. They got all of these men and women getting called up to the main roster. Dominik Dijakovic got called up. Shane Thorne got called up. Dio Maddin got called up. Mia Yim got called up. Mercedes Martinez got called up. WWE just purged 5 NXT talent. Keith Lee got called up. Adam Cole is absolutely sometime in the near future, sooner rather than later, getting called up. How much is NXT going to have to suffer through? What is Vince McMahon doing? If he has no plans for any of these people, and what we got with Retribution on the main roster is their idea of plans, what are you doing here? This reminds me of the in-between period that NXT had when Bobby Roode was there. And Shinsuke Nakamura was feuding with Bobby Roode over the NXT Championship. It reminds me of that transitional period in NXT. They came out of that with flying colors. They owned that transitional period. They knew it was going to be a short window. And then they got back to doing what they do best, and that is being the best brand in North America. But now they're not the best brand in North America. That belongs to AEW. All because NXT has taken several steps backwards and now are applying main roster logic to their shows. They're giving us takeovers, which I do believe this is a reactionary takeover, and I do believe that this takeover is actually making up for the loss of a takeover for WrestleMania weekend. But that doesn't excuse NXT's faults before we even got to last night's show. It's very difficult to invest in anything NXT related right now because of this reactionary counter-programming booking. There's no long-term vision anymore. They're booking week to week to week to week. If I want to watch something being booked week to week to week to week, I'll watch SmackDown and I'll watch Monday Night Raw. I don't watch NXT for week to week booking. Everything that happened on last night's show was a week to week booking decision. Let's get this takeover done. No reason for this show to be happening. Let's get contenders in place. We'll worry about everything after the show. I only hope that going into the next takeover, which is in December, that things will be planned out a little bit better. And maybe there'll be live fans by that time. I don't know. Another reason why these takeovers don't really feel like takeovers is because that live energy is more needed for a NXT takeover than it is for a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown on Fox show. These shows cannot be as great as we all remember them without the fans. But I honestly do think that with all of this lined up, from all the news about COVID and the reactionary way that WWE handled this takeover to the purge of NXT, I've decided to go a little easy on them. We all know what their problem is. We all know what their issues are. But we do also have to be mindful of what's going on right now. Plans were also reshuffled because of this COVID-19 situation. We don't really know who had COVID. We don't know who was sent home. All I know and all I read was that plans did change. So we're going to go over all of that. But, you know, with everything that is going on in NXT right now, I feel like I should take it easy on them. Just today. Because like I said, even though TakeOver is going to be a reactionary show and the reactionary booking was very prevalent on last night's show, I do think it's still going to come off as a very good TakeOver show as far as what happens in the ring. So we'll see what happens. We'll go over what happened on last night's show. We'll go over the winners and losers of last night's matches. What was a thumbs up as far as TakeOver is concerned? What was a thumbs down? And we'll go over all the NXT news that I have for you here on the podcast, man. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on Off the Script. I know it is dinner time somewhere. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, East Coast, man. If you guys are joining me on the East Coast, West Coast, if you guys are joining me overseas, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining me here on Off the Script. Please follow me on social media, man, at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Please do that. I am on Twitter during Monday, during Friday, and during Wednesday. Preferably during AEW, but I will give my thoughts on NXT if something big does happen, and I do catch the replay of the show. But anyway, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JD from NY206. If you missed anything that I've uploaded this week, man, Monday Night Raw was live on the channel. Post-show on Off the Script. Go and check that out. One of the best rants that I've had all year in regards to the terrible show that Monday Night Raw was and the terrible portrayal and presentation of Retribution on that show. We got so much news about Retribution on this weekend's podcast, man. You don't want to miss it. But if you missed that live stream, there was an Off the Script extra as well that went up on Tuesday. There was a AEW Dynamite review last night. Go and check all of that out. Links are down in the description of this very video. And if you guys want to catch me after the show is over, I will be live on Twitch at 8 p.m. tonight, playing some PGA 2K21 on the PS4, maybe some Call of Duty. We're going to hang out. We're going to have some cold beverages. It's going to be a good time, so make sure you guys tune into that as well. If you want to support the show, several ways you can do that. Number one, Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to go and get your masks, mouthmasker.com/OTS. Make sure you guys go and get them. The new black masks are in stock. They look and feel great, man. So go and get your masks today and represent the podcast. If you guys want to go and get your t-shirts, bonfire.com is the exclusive home of the new JD is NEGAN t-shirt. Go and get your hoodies today, man. Hoodies are available. So I know it's going to get a little nipply out there. It's going to get a little chilly sooner rather than later. You might as well represent the podcast with a beautiful new JD is NEGAN hoodie. And you guys can only get that on bonfire.com. Link for all the merchandise for the show is linked down below in the description. And the podcast today is brought to you by Harry's, harrys.com/script. Get your value trial set today. I actually shaved with Harry's before I actually came on the show today. I feel great. If you guys want to go and try their new sharpest razors ever, harrys.com/script. We'll talk about them a little bit later. And please hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And hit that thumbs up, man. Every thumbs up helps out the channel. So make sure you guys go and do that for me as well. Let's try for 500 likes in the stream this afternoon. 500 likes is the goal. And as always, super chats are open. We'll hang out for a little bit at the end of the show. So get your super chats in, and we'll hang out when the podcast is over. Might as well talk about the news, man. The ratings are in. NXT and AEW ratings are in. AEW Dynamite dips in total viewership. NXT sees a slight increase in viewership, but AEW wins the Wednesday night battle once again. I know last night it was the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics in, I don't know what game it was. Was it game 3, game 4 of the NBA playoffs? So I think a lot of people are investing their time in the NBA as we dwindle down the teams, getting closer to the NBA Finals. So obviously these shows are going to suffer because of other sports that are happening in that same time slot, and then we get on into October. We're going to see the vice presidential debates and the presidential debates. So these ratings are going to be a lot lower come late October, early November. So it's going to be a very, very different story as we move on into the fall weeks. But AEW was down while NXT was up in total viewers. It was Dynamite that took the win this week and stayed in the top 10 on cable for the night after ranking number 3 last week, which was a high for the show. Very impressive for AEW, man. TNT has to be very pleased with them ranking number 3 last week. AEW Dynamite drew 835,000 live viewers, and NXT drew 696,000 live viewers. Last week, AEW drew 886,000, and NXT drew 689,000 viewers. As in most weeks, AEW won the 18-49 demo thanks to the demo god, Chris Jericho. NXT ranked number 38 amongst the top 150 shows on cable, while AEW was ranked number 9. 18-49, AEW drew a 0.32, and NXT did a 0.18, and the 50-plus demographic was AEW 0.32, and NXT, man, 0.37. So they win that 50-plus demo, man. One of these weeks, AEW is going to win that 50-plus. And then I want to see what NXT is going to do. That ever-important 50-plus, man. Martha and fucking Stewart. Hey, Martha, go and grab the prune juice. Damien Priest is coming on. You know? 50-plus, man. They love their NXT. I don't know why. Very fucking bizarre to me, man. I try to figure it out. I try and fucking figure this shit out. I can't figure it out what they love. Maybe it's a throwback to what they remember wrestling being and how great wrestling could be. I don't know. It is what it is. The old geezers love NXT. But AEW won again as always. And listen, you know, with AEW drawing 1 million viewers a couple of weeks back, I said it then, I'm going to say it now. Vince is not moving NXT off of Wednesday night just for that simple reason. Because then you're just leaving AEW unopposed. And if you do, that is going to get very dangerous. I wish he would. But he doesn't give a shit about NXT, and that's very well documented. Vince doesn't give a fuck about NXT. I mean, if he did, he wouldn't be burying 5 NXT talents in one fucking snap of a finger. Like Thanos, he snapped his fucking finger and legitimately killed 5 careers on Monday night. I mean, Vince McMahon and Thanos are in the same fucking boat. They're not moving NXT off of Wednesday night because of that. And if they did, imagine AEW slowly creeping up on Monday Night Raw every single week. Vince doesn't want that. That's the reason why NXT is on Wednesday night to begin with at 2 hours. But we all know NXT, for them and for us, is probably better off on Tuesday nights. Tuesday night. I don't know why USA doesn't make a push to convince Vince McMahon that this is the right decision. Look, we're doing near 900,000 viewers on Tuesday night. Look at this fucking rating going head-to-head with AEW. 689 last week, and now 696 this week. They're barely breaking 700. On their own night, they're doing damn near 900,000. So I don't understand it. I really don't get it. But Vince, after that AEW getting $1 million unopposed, forget about it, man. The hopes are dashed that AEW will stand alone on Wednesday nights. Moving on with the rest of the NXT news, man. There was a situation that happened on NXT last night. And there was a vignette of somebody coming back to NXT to reclaim their NXT Championship. Now, this could be a plethora of individuals, seriously, but this went around and it's got people talking. And at the end of this promo, it indicated 10/4/20, which is the date of NXT TakeOver. I don't think it has a name. NXT TakeOver 31. It's simply NXT TakeOver. It doesn't have any name behind it. So this strange promo included powerful words that indicated a former NXT champion is coming back to the black and gold brand. They plan to reclaim what is rightfully theirs as well. I'm not sure what happened. I helped create something out of my own blood, years and years of dedication, only to be taken over by paper champions. These NXT championships have been in isolation for far too long. Now I've come back to take what is mine. End quote. That is what was said in this mysterious vignette. Now, there are theories out there about who this mysterious superstar could be. I don't know who it is, but Dave Meltzer ran down a theory on The Observer last night that it could be for Bo Dallas. Now, I was never big on Bo Dallas. I was never a big Bo Dallas guy. But Bo Dallas actually did announce in December of 2019 that he was taking a hiatus. Now, I don't know if you guys remember that. Perhaps he reinvented himself a year later in all of this time off, and now he's making a big return to NXT. The last time we seen Dallas in NXT was when he was being carried off by Full Sail Security, and we may be getting a homecoming of sorts for a returning Bo Dallas. Now, I don't know what you guys think about that. That doesn't really seem all that interesting to me. But it could be a variety of individuals. It could be Kevin Owens. It could be Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens could be coming back to NXT to claim what is rightfully his. I would actually like that to happen. I really would. Because they're not doing anything with Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw. Could be. I would absolutely love that to happen. It could be Bobby Roode. There was a rumor going around that Bobby Roode is ready to come back. I don't know if he really kind of fits into the mold of what was said in this promo. He hasn't been there for years and years. Years and years of dedication. He helped create something out of my own blood. That doesn't really fit Bobby Roode. I would love if Bobby Roode went back down to NXT because I do think that WWE absolutely missed the boat by a fucking country mile on Bobby Roode in NXT. He was absolutely fantastic as a heel when he was down at Full Sail and the NXT champion. I don't think it's Bobby Roode, though. I don't think it's Kevin Owens. I don't think it's Sami Zayn. Maybe it's Aleister Black. I don't know. One theory out there that I'd like to throw at you guys, and I don't think it is because I don't see Vince McMahon parting ways with him. I do think that he's going to continue feuding with who he's feuding with right now. One other theory besides Bo Dallas I want to throw at you. What if it ends up being Seth Rollins? Seth Rollins doesn't really have anything going on for himself right now on Monday Night Raw. He's feuding with Rey Mysterio in this storyline that does not want to end. I'm assuming when Rey Mysterio comes back, they're going to feud them together again and just end it. They seem to be doing this with the Mysterio family. Rey is not the real father to Aaliyah. Rey is not the real father to Dominic. Angie's a fucking slut. She sleeps around. Seth Rollins is finding all this shit out. Yada, yada, yada. But what happens after Rey Mysterio? I see them inside Hell in a Cell. I see WWE putting them inside the structure in October to end it all, finally. But what does Seth Rollins have to do after that? Maybe he shows up. Now, I don't think it's going to be Seth Rollins for a variety of reasons. A, it does make sense that he did build NXT through his own blood and years of dedication. He would fit right into that. it would give NXT a main roster advantage on Wednesday nights, which that in it by itself is a reason why they would do it, because they are desperate to beat AEW on Wednesday nights. And having Seth Rollins show up on Wednesday night, feuding with all the NXT talent down there and being the NXT champion, feuding with Finn Balor, who they definitely have a history, it certainly makes sense. It would be a little desperate, but I would not put it past WWE to be thinking that. But I don't see Vince McMahon wanting to part with Seth Rollins to have him go down to NXT. Because Monday Night Raw right now, they need a mountain of help. And I don't know where that help is going to come from. So pulling somebody like Rollins off your show isn't really going to help that show in the long run. The other thing about Rollins, and it not being Rollins, is after this Mysterio feud, I do think that Mysterio and the Mysterio family are going to win this battle. And then Becky Lynch is doing December. So if Rollins is right now in this feud with Mysterio, more than likely going to lose. The Mysterio family is going to get the one up. What else does Rollins have to do? He doesn't really have much to do on Monday Night Raw. He's not feuding for the World Championship. It's going to be Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton. Randy Orton's going to be the WWE champion. So he probably is going to go out on a rumored hiatus himself. So it might not be Seth Rollins. It could be Shinsuke Nakamura. It could be Samoa Joe. Maybe they pulled Samoa Joe off of commentary for this very reason. He's a main roster guy. He's still got a lot left in the tank. He's a fucking great promo. He's as legit as anybody else in NXT history, right? He's one of the only two-time NXT champions, I believe, right? So why not? Maybe they pulled him off of commentary for that reason. Joe isn't doing much of anything on Monday Night Raw. Maybe he fits like a glove on NXT. I don't know. But it could be any one of those men joining NXT again. So we have to wait and see what happens. But right now, Dave Meltzer is under the assumption that it is a returning Bo Dallas returning to NXT. And if that is the case, I might have a fonder appreciation of Bo Dallas just knowing that he was in NXT. He was one of the very few people that company was being built around, or that brand rather was being built around. He got called up to the main roster. Fucking undoubtedly failed time and time again. And I want to throw a comparison out there as far as Bo Dallas goes. You know, Juice Robinson, CJ Parker left NXT to go to Japan, reinvent himself. He wanted to challenge himself. He's living over there in Japan now. He's one of the biggest stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I look at Bo Dallas almost as similar to CJ Parker as to Juice Robinson. You know, they got very similar makeups. Maybe this could be a Juice Robinson moment for Bo Dallas to kind of jump back into the pool and show everybody how good he really is, you know? So I don't know what that is going to do for him in the long run, but if it's Bo Dallas, I might have a fonder appreciation for him after seeing him fail time and time again on the main roster. So we'll see what happens there. We'll find out on October 4th. I don't know what you guys are thinking. I know some of you guys threw around Kevin Owens' name in the chat, but I don't know, man. I don't really know. Yes, Juice is, yes, I understand. Yes, Juice is dating Toni Storm. I know. Good for him, man. He's living the fucking dream, right? He's in New Japan. He's doing what he loves. He's respected. He's dating Toni Storm. Yes, I know. Moving on, man. So that is the vignette, and that is the rumor going around. If I hear anything else, obviously, I will let you guys know in some way, shape, or form on the podcast. Now, there was a COVID-19 outbreak that actually changed some plans. How much of the plans were changed because of this COVID-19 outbreak, we don't really know. I don't think that the plans changed as much. We'll go over a couple of situations, maybe that it changed. I know it definitely changed that tag team title match, or that tag team match that we seen on NXT last night, because if you guys looked, you got Fabian Aichner there without Marcel Bartel. You got Fandango dressed as Sherlock Holmes without Tyler Breeze there. You got Roderick Strong without Bobby Fish there. And you got Danny Burch there without Oney Lorcan. And then you got Raul Mendoza there without Joaquin Wilde. or Santos Escobar. So all of those guys might have been some of the infected with this COVID-19 outbreak. And that's the reason why we got that main roster-ish just thrown together, stick it to the wall, see if it sticks, wrap it up in fucking Elmer's glue and Scotch tape tag team match on NXT last night. Didn't make any sense. Yeah, Roderick Strong teaming up with Danny Burch against Raul Mendoza and Fabian Eichner. And the winning team, their respective teams, go and challenge each other next week. And the winner of that match fights Breezango at TakeOver for the tag team titles. If I confused you there, I'm sorry. That is the rule of the match that happened last night. I do think that was something that was changed as far as the COVID-19 outbreak. Maybe Timothy Thatcher being in the Gauntlet match also changed as well. Maybe they had somebody else. Maybe they had Velveteen Dream in there. Maybe they had, I don't know who else is even there to even slot into that position. Honestly, they don't have any main event. Why wasn't Adam Cole in that match? Is what I want to know. Maybe not to take the spotlight away from Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know. But maybe Velveteen Dream was in there because Timothy Thatcher really didn't make any sense as to why he was there. He lost to Damien Priest a week ago for the North American Championship, and now he's getting an opportunity to challenge for the NXT title, a takeover, in a gauntlet match. Maybe something changed there. But I definitely know they changed that tag team match because of the COVID shit. The NXT talent at Full Sail, the mask-wearing enforcement has been very lax. At Full Sail. Now, this was discussed by John Alba. He's a reporter in the greater Orlando area. And he's got ties to WWE. He's got connects into WWE. And he discussed concern within NXT that some superstars weren't sent home, but they should have been. Alba followed that point by bringing up how he heard they are not enforcing mask-wearing policies in their training at all. And I quote here, there was also some concern over the idea that there has not been an enforcement on mask wearing in spaces where some talent are congregating like they should be, like at the gym or at the performance center or places like that, which I don't know for sure what the situation is as far as what it looks like every day at the PC. I don't want to speculate, but I don't think that they're getting tested every day just to go to the performance center. I think it's primarily the TV tapings, and I think the Thunderdome situation is different as well. Again, I don't want to speculate, and I don't know, but I don't know what's happening inside NXT. Alba also expressed some concern about NXT superstars that were not sent home. There was apparently contact with superstars who tested positive, but due to WWE's secretive contact tracing system, it's unclear how the company dealt with the situation. He says, and I quote, here's some concern about that. It is that some of the people who may have come in contact with individuals that are sick weren't necessarily sent home. At least that's what some of the concern is. I cannot confirm or not whether they have been sent home because I don't know how their contact tracing system works. But there were some people inside NXT that were worried about this situation. Now, NXT isn't the only company right now that's dealing with multiple superstars on their roster dealing with COVID-19, testing positive for COVID-19. Multiple AEW stars will also hit as well. So, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported that there is many on AEW's roster as well that have been ill or showing symptoms, but right now, there is no word on if they tested positive for COVID-19. Some of the wrestlers who tested positive were used at the last set of AEW Dark tapings. It should be noted that many of the wrestlers used for Dark are not under contract with the promotion, but anyone who works the shows is tested before entering Daily's place. So this is a very serious situation, and I don't really understand why WWE for all these months has enforced the mask-wearing policy, only for NXT to not follow up with that and then become lax in that situation. You'll see everybody wearing a mask on NXT that's behind the plexiglass. But I don't know why it's not being enforced in the gym. Everybody that goes to a gym, I know I fucking hate it. I think it's nearly impossible to do any sort of cardio workout in the gym with a fucking mask on. But I honestly think people are sick and tired of the fucking mask mandates. But WWE, if they want to continue to put on TV, you know, whether you like it or not, and I know the majority of people don't like wearing the fucking masks, but if WWE wants to put on TV and they want everybody, you know, accessible for these TV tapings, and they don't want to go through the ringer of having a backup plan, a plan B or a plan C or plan D, they need to enforce these policies. So I don't really understand why NXT is not really enforcing everybody, no matter what the activity is, inside the Performance Center, inside the gym, why they're not wearing masks. If you want things to go the way that they should, for you to operate correctly, then things need to be enforced. I don't like it, you don't like it, but these are the things that we have to abide by if we want things to work out as far as them producing television every single week. Now, with AEW, I don't know what had happened. Apparently, there were a few wrestlers that do work indie promotions, and there are some indie promotions that are getting back out there. I know Janela has his spring break number 4 happening in Indianapolis. When you got events like that happening, we don't know how strict those events are as far as following policies. I assume they are, otherwise they wouldn't be allowed to happen, but we don't really know. You know, we don't really know what's going on. We don't know where these people are coming from. I know all of the people from Dark. They come from all over. Who knows where they're coming from? So AEW, I don't know what had happened with AEW, but Tony Khan has been very strict about everything COVID-19 related. I mean, fucking down to the very last T. Tony Khan has been strict about everything. So I don't know what had happened there. There really is no news on how that all got started. And I don't think AEW was, you know, in a situation where they suffered badly last night. Yes, that 6-man tag team match was not the main event of the show, and they had to reroute to Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, but I just hope that everybody is healthy and they get through this. But I quite like when, you know, a promotion has to think on their toes. And I appreciate the fact that AEW, you know, had Jon Moxley on standby to defend the world championship. I like the fact that they said, you know what, we're not going to give you a 6-man tag team match tonight, but Jon Moxley's here. He's going to defend the world championship because we're sorry for what had happened. And they made sense of the Eddie Kingston storyline because he was eliminated in the Battle Royal, and he has been claiming that he wasn't eliminated, and he should get a shot at Jon Moxley in the AEW title. So they had that, and they should be lucky that they had that out. But again, I don't know what had happened there. Multiple people tested positive. We don't know how. It was reported that COVID-19 forced NXT to change creative plans. John Alba also reported that some people have gotten relaxed with the mask wearing. Like I said, people tested positive over the weekend. This is obviously not what NXT needs right now because with the main roster purging NXT talent and now several talent on the roster already are testing positive and won't be able to be used for 2 weeks, what is NXT going to do? Mixed with the main roster purge, what are they going to do? Mixed with the injuries that they have right now, what are they going to do? They got to be very careful here. So Alba noted that there's a belief that the Performance Center coach or a Performance Center coach accidentally spread the virus. So it was a Performance Center coach who right now remains anonymous. It's not clear yet how widespread the outbreak is, but apparently this has been an issue for a couple of weeks now. We will know more as information is revealed, but right now WWE was dumbing down the reports. They were dumbing down the reports. I also know on last night's show, Vic Joseph wasn't there and Wade Barrett wasn't there, which I'll talk about. Little minor opinion on Vic Joseph not being there on the show last night, but Vic Joseph wasn't there. He's been the guy that has taken over for Mauro Ranallo. And Wade Barrett just signed a new WWE deal to be a commentary member for NXT. He wasn't there in his 3rd week. So maybe that's COVID related. Positive tests started coming in on September 9th in NXT, and they were reportedly still coming in as far as this last weekend. Now WWE has to figure out what to do, and some are going with a classic tactic: denial. They are denying that COVID never happened. Oh, there's no COVID here. There is no COVID here. During Wrestling Observer Live, Dave Meltzer noted that there were some in the company who were saying that nothing actually happened, that all is right, all is good. That's not what you want to do. I love how WWE's like, oh yeah, Vic Joseph has the night off. He's probably in fucking bed under 4 blankets, and he's got a fucking cup of green tea on his nightstand with extra honey. Give me a fucking break, man. The guy's probably got 104 fever laying in bed. It's his day off. Are you fucking kidding me? Meltzer noted that people were saying nothing happened. He elaborated on this point while mentioning the conflicting stories. Some people are saying that nothing happened, but there's enough out there. And at the show this week, people were talking about it, and other people have been talking about it on the main roster and the NXT roster. So there is something there. Classic denial of COVID-19 in WWE, man. The same tactic that got them in trouble back during WrestleMania. What happened, man? NXT can ill afford to have all of this mount on top of each other, man. With the injuries and the NXT Purge from Vince McMahon, and now the COVID-19 cases where you're going to have people that are going to be out for 2 weeks. You're not going to be accessible to those talents going into TakeOver, going into a major show for you. I don't know, man. I don't know why people got so laxed with the masks. Again, I'm not a big mask guy. I wear it while I have to. I don't wear it everywhere. I don't wear it in my fucking home. I don't wear it in my car like a fucking geek. But if you're going out to the gym and you're going to be around people and etc., you got to be careful, especially in these type of situations. You're a pro wrestling company that wants to put on live weekly television every single week and create episodic television, man. Why don't you just do the right thing to give yourself that peace of mind and comfort? Why would you ever want something like this to rear its ugly head? I don't understand it. Yes, we don't like the fucking rules. We don't like the regulations, but what are you going to do? You want to run fucking shows? You got to follow the regulations. It's that fucking simple. It's that simple. NXT's been bad enough. Now we got to deal with this? Come on, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, moving on with the rest of the news, man. TakeOver. TakeOver's happening on October 4th. TakeOver could use the Thunderdome because WWE's contract with the Amway Center is actually coming up at the end of October. TakeOver will take place on October 4th. The company will have the option of running the show inside the Thunderdome, and they might just do that, as it was noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. They officially announced that TakeOver will happen on Sunday, October 4th. There is at least talk of doing it from the Amway Center with a Thunderdome setup, or they could just stay at Full Sail. With only a few weeks away, nothing seems ready at the moment. So far, WWE has announced any sort of Thunderdome addition to NXT TakeOver, but matches are being planned. Obviously, some of the card at the end of last night's show has been fleshed out, but nothing as far as the Thunderdome and TakeOver has been reported. So Meltzer saying that they could use it. I think it would actually benefit NXT TakeOver. I am so tired of seeing TakeOver inside Full Sail. I know that's where TakeOver was kind of born, but I honestly think TakeOver needs something more, man. It needs to look like it's on a bigger stage. Honestly. They need to get the fuck out of Full Sail for those shows. Because you can't really... I hate the vibe, and I know I'm not alone, man. I hate the vibe when I'm watching a fucking TakeOver and I feel like I'm watching an extended 2-hour episode of NXT. And that's the risk that you run when you run TakeOver outside or out of Full Sail. It's always going to feel similar to what you watch on weekly television, man. If this is a TakeOver and you're taking this to be a serious show, then put it inside the Thunderdome. Everything's already set up. You don't need any fancy bells and whistles. So I hope that is the case, because I am tired of watching these TakeOver shows and feeling that just formulaic NXT weekly episodic TV feel. It needs to be on a bigger scale. Chelsea Green. Where the fuck is Chelsea Green, man? She wasn't even in the Battle Royal. She wasn't in the Battle Royal at all. She was supposed to get called up to the main roster. Nobody knows what happened to Chelsea Green. During Wrestling Observer Live, Meltzer was asked about Chelsea Green's current WWE status. At this point, her call-up has been started and stopped so many times that it's unclear what is even going on with Chelsea Green. He says, God only knows. She's not in Retribution, thank God. So I don't know where she is and why she's not in, but they took her off NXT right away. And right as when she was getting a push, she was drawing numbers. She was in some tag team matches that did really well, really big. And then they did that angle where they took her away from the Robert Stone brand, and we haven't seen her since. At the time, the plan was for her to debut on the main roster, but they've made some changes since then. So who the hell knows what is going on? I have no idea. So a lot of people were, after that first week, and then it was uncovered and debunked to be Carmella, but a lot of people were like, oh, Chelsea Green is going to end up on SmackDown. She's the mysterious SmackDown woman with those vignettes. I think that would have been great. I honestly thought that would be a lot better than fucking Carmella. I don't know what a repackaged Carmella is going to do for a dead SmackDown women's division, but here we are. But Chelsea Green, man, why you have access to Chelsea Green and you're not using Chelsea? It is unbelievable how you have someone as good as her and you're not using her. I really don't understand that. Where is she? Is she hurt? I don't think that's the case. And my God, after the Battle Royal last night, you see how thin NXT's women's division is. She absolutely is ready for the main roster. Most of those women are ready for the main roster, but not everybody can get called up at the same time. Chelsea Green needs to be on television, and you need to give her some pull in NXT. She needs to be in the middle of everything that's going on right now for the women. I don't know why she's not there. Are they punishing her? Are they punishing Chelsea Green because Matt Cardona ended up in AEW? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But please let the same thing happen like it did to Deonna Purrazzo. You didn't use Deonna Purrazzo, and she walked. Or she got released, right? There was nothing there. You kept telling her, oh, there's nothing there. Oh, there's nothing there for you. And they didn't use someone like Deonna Purrazzo on NXT TV. How the fuck are you not going to use someone like Deonna Purrazzo? And now what's happening with Chelsea Green? How are you not going to use someone like Chelsea Green? Do you want to risk her going somewhere else? Is she gonna be the next casualty here? Because the last thing you want to do is make Impact's women's division even stronger than it is now. Or AEW, give them another piece to build around on Dynamite. Because that's exactly where she's going. Give me a break, man. She should be already racking up wins and fucking contending for titles. And yet she's not been on TV. I don't know what is going on with Chelsea Green. Moving on, man. Wade Barrett. He signed on as a full-time commentator last week. Barrett will replace Mauro Ranallo. Actually, Vic Joseph will replace Mauro Ranallo. Barrett's going to replace Nigel McGuinness, as they are no longer a part of NXT's commentary team. And Barrett's knowledge of the ring and a veteran viewpoint makes him a great fit for NXT's commentary team. I enjoy Wade Barrett. I think he's great. He's got that voice where it's just powerful and it commands your attention. I always thought Wade Barrett was a great promo in WWE when he was winning all those Intercontinental titles and then being buried by John Cena. But Vic Joseph and Wade Barrett will be there with Beth Phoenix every week from this point on. So that is their commentary nucleus on NXT TV. Also, guys, there's a story here about Finn Balor. And I guess I could talk about this now, even though Balor wasn't on the show last night. He's defending the title at TakeOver against Kyle O'Reilly. Finn Balor was actually interviewed about the Demon Balor, and why the Demon character didn't work on the main roster. He was interviewed and he was asked this question. Now, it was supposed to be used for special occasions. It was supposed to be used for special feuds that made him kind of go to the dark side, right? It would be human Balor, and then he would channel his inner demon, and then the Demon Balor would emerge and give him the one-up on his opponents. That was the ultimate story there behind the Demon Finn Balor. Now, according to Balor, he thinks instead of saving it for special occasions, WWE used it more often than it should, and they used it as marketing. And that's all they seen the Demon as, a marketing gimmick and a marketing ploy. He said the Demon was designed as something special. It was one of those things that should have been saved for breathtaking occasions, but it ended up being advertised in the media, and that was one of the main reasons why it didn't work. The surprise factor was completely gone, and the Demon became Finn Balor's savior, which was also to my detriment because I could not develop my own character separate from the Demon. I think it hurt both of us. It hurt Finn Balor, and it hurt the Demon. Balor was also asked about whether the character could be used in a cinematic match. He said that he doesn't think it would hurt the character in these types of matches because he thinks they have to evolve along with the business. However, if it was up to Balor, he would enjoy it more if he could do the character in a stadium full of people like a WrestleMania. He says, and I quote, "I think in a way it was designed for those kind of occasions, and I think that both the fans and myself would enjoy it much more." End quote. Why didn't the Finn Balor character and the Demon King character work? Simple. Because there was nothing to differentiate Finn Balor, the human, from Finn Balor, the Demon. It was the same fucking character. It was nothing more than human Finn Balor with fucking crazy face paint and body paint. That's all it was. And a different, more elaborate entrance, right? It was creepy. It was ominous. It was him emerging from the mist. And, it was something that had a great lure behind it. But there was nothing really there that differentiated himself from the Demon outside of the slight appearance. They wrestled the same. There was nothing about the Demon's moveset that was different from Finn Balor. And not only that, as far as the moveset being the same, that's a minor issue. The bigger thing is, it makes human Finn Balor look weak. Because every situation that WWE put Finn Balor in, it was always, human Balor can't get the job done. Human Balor's a pussy. Human Balor is not good enough to beat so-and-so. So let's call upon the Demon, and he's got these mythical, magical powers that somehow transform him into a contender. That doesn't necessarily make human Balor look good. So why even bother doing it at the point? It defeats the fucking purpose. Why would you want to harm one portion of his character for another portion of his character? I don't get it. Still to this day, I don't know why Demon Balor did not show up against Brock Lesnar. That's the one thing that I think we could have used Demon Balor in. It was a great match for 9 minutes. They made it a believable match. They did as good as they possibly could with Balor versus Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. But I don't know why that match did not include the Demon. I don't. The Demon versus the Beast. It sells its fucking self. He did say it was used for marketing. That was definitely a marketing ploy that they didn't go and explore. But why didn't the Demon character work on the main roster? Because WWE, it's fucking Vince McMahon. Nothing works on the main roster. Nothing. His moveset was the same, and then it made his human character look weak. Very simple. That's the NXT news. That is the NXT news. We got 637 people watching, man. I know it's a slow night. Look, a lot of people don't really enjoy NXT, and I got to reap the benefits of that, man. Usually I'm here sitting between 1,400 fucking people live for an off the script, but yet I'm talking NXT and nobody gives a shit, man. This is why I don't bother doing them. Why do I do them and nobody shows up? But here I am. Hit that thumbs up, man. Let's try and get for 500 likes in the chat. Listen, there's almost 700 of you in here, and there's only 264 likes. Fuck's going on? Really, what is going on? You guys turning heel on me. Anyway, hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys new around here, hit that subscribe button. We're here every single week. Monday Night Raw, NXT, AEW, and Friday Night SmackDown. And then you got the number one podcast in the community with Off the Script every single Saturday, man. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and join the OTS family, man. Guys, What are you using for shaving equipment? Honestly. If you guys ain't using Harry's, man, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Harry's just came out with their newest, sharpest blades ever. And like these other geeks in the industry, right? They're overcharging. Harry's is making improvements to their product, but they're not charging you for those improvements. The blades are still as low as $2 each. I love Harry's, man. I've been with them for 4 years now. Seriously, the best shave ever. I don't even think about using anything else, man. I go right to Target, Harry's, right there. Nice little display in Target. Get my shave gel, get some razors. You want the orange razor, the blue razor, the evergreen? I got them all. Why not? Why not? They got some face wash. I love the face wash too. The shave gel, man, though, it feels great. Tingling sensation on your face. Aloe. Smooth glide of the blade. I never cut myself. Unbelievable product, man. You guys can try these new sharper blades by going to harrys.com/scripts. They actually held a study with guys shaving 4 times a week. The guys reported that with Harry's and the new blades, their 8th shave was just as sharp as their 4th. Or their 1st, rather, not their 4th. So you guys get double the blade with these new blades. How do they deliver such quality at a great price? Harry's owns a German blade factory that's been honing precision blades for over 100 years. They source their own steel from Sweden. They own the entire manufacturing process from R&D to the factory floor, and it keeps the prices low. They also have a 100% quality guarantee. Guys, if you sign up using harrys.com/script, you're going to get a trial set that includes a 5-blade razor featuring their new, sharper blades, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry and easy on the go. Just go to harrys.com/script and redeem your trial offer today, man, and start shaving better today. Start using Harry's. harrys.com/script. I don't know why you guys aren't using Harry's, man. Listen, if you guys are listening to me and only a couple of you signed up to get your blades and get your trial set, you're doing me such a massive favor, man. Honestly. So go and do that and start shaving better today. Your wife, your girlfriend don't want to see you look like a homeless bum, bro. Honestly. Start using Harry's. NXT, man. NXT started off with a women's battle royal. This match was just as bad as the Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss match from AEW Dynamite. Candice LeRae won a battle royal to become the number 1 contender to Io Shirai at TakeOver for the NXT Women's Championship. This match was fucking ridiculous, man. Honestly. Before I even talk about the match, I want to, because it's in the notes here, I want to make a point. Vic Joseph wasn't there. Tom Phillips filled in. It was just Tom Phillips and Beth Phoenix. Am I the only one who thinks Tom Phillips' voice fits better with NXT instead of Vic Joseph's voice on NXT? Or am I losing my mind? Now, Tom Phillips is good at what he does. He's a manufactured fucking droid in WWE commentary, but he's somehow a better fit for NXT than Vic Joseph is. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that. I honestly think Vic Joseph does not fit at all on NXT here in North America. He sounded fine on NXT UK. He really did. He sounded fine on Monday Night Raw. He sounded fine on 205 Live. I don't know what it is. You know what it is? It's the fact that nobody will ever be able to replace Morrow. And at least with Tom Phillips, you get a little bit more than you do with Vic Joseph. Vic Joseph just does not fit on NXT. I don't know if I'm the only one. Let me know if you guys think about that. Now, this Battle Royal was fucking ridiculous, honestly. This was a shot in the dark. This was as rushed as anything. This was not very TakeOver-esque at all. It exposes the fact of the matter that NXT doesn't have any long-term vision. Right now, they're just throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. They're doing whatever they got to do to get to this takeover. Hopefully, after this takeover, they have some form of long-term booking. But my God, man, the announce team did such a miserable, awful job at explaining who these women in this match were. We've seen so many women that were there that were not anywhere close to being TV ready. I don't even think they're fucking performance center ready. I think they legitimately took these women and plucked them from the line of newcomers and threw them in the ring. The commentary team didn't even know who they were at all. So why am I going to give a shit about who these women are? If you watch the match, go back and listen to the commentary. None of these women were even given a thought. They were just there to fill fucking spaces in a battle royal to make it look full. But at the end of the day, it only exposes WWE's short-term booking on NXT, which is the fucking main issue here. And it exposes the fact that NXT's women's division right now isn't as great as it used to be. So I don't know why these women were there. They're nowhere near TV ready. And they were just there to enhance the already over talent that obviously WWE is ready to push. So Candice LeRae won this battle royal. We got a storyline integrated into this thing where it's Rhea Ripley and not Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes Martinez now is having her career buried on Monday Night Raw. Raquel Gonzalez. It's Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. They would eliminate most of the field in this battle royal. And then they eventually ended up eliminating themselves. And I hate talking about Rhea Ripley. I honestly have I've fallen out of favor with Rhea Ripley, to be quite honest with you. I think she's cringe, number one. She's great, but she's cringe. I don't know where they're going with Rhea Ripley. I still think to this day that loss to Charlotte Flair has absolutely fucking derailed her so much that she's never going to recover. Now, I think anybody watching this fucking show can pinpoint that WWE is still pushing Rhea Ripley in a priority role. If you watch NXT on a weekly basis, you can see that they're setting her up for a women's championship. Again, I don't know when that will be, but you can definitely see that's where they're leading. She doesn't feel important right now, but that's where they're leading. But even if they do lead Rhea Ripley to that and a second NXT Women's Championship, what does it even mean? What does it matter? You had somebody in Rhea Ripley that you could have made into the next Becky Lynch. We discussed this on the show. She had everything that Becky Lynch was missing. That was your new Becky Lynch. She should have been running fucking through everybody on this division, on this show, in this division. And they haven't done that at all. And now you want to start booking her to reclaim the NXT Championship for what? It's almost as if she's going backwards. By the time she gets the NXT title again, she'll be ready for the main roster. In fact, Rhea Ripley is ready for the main roster. So if they do have plans to book her in a NXT Women's Championship situation, at that point, what is it even going to mean because she's ready for the main roster now? She should have been built up to a point where she could have been the one to replace Becky Lynch, but you derailed her for Charlotte Flair, and you killed everything with that division, and you killed everything with Rhea Ripley because of that one booking decision, because Charlotte Flair needed to go over at WrestleMania. Fucking ridiculous, man. So the subplot here was Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez eliminating all these fucking nobodies in this battle royal. They ended up eliminating themselves. They eventually squared off. Gonzalez got Ripley in an electric chair. Both tumbled over the ropes to eliminate each other. Dakota Kai was left in the ring without her insurance policy. Kai was among the final five with Candice LeRae, Shotzi Blackheart, Indy Hartwell, and Casey Catanzaro. Casey Catanzaro had several Kofi Kingston moments in this match. The more they do it, the more it becomes less and less impressive. We've seen this time and time again. It didn't need to be done in this battle royal, especially if you guys watched the show last night. She was legitimately laying back first on last night's show, and she had her feet in the air. And the referee was like, nope, she's not eliminated. And then she pulled herself back into the ring because she's American Ninja Warrior. I love Casey, but give me a fucking break, man. You're trying way too hard to make something look, better than it really should. Casey Catanzaro was never going to be in contention to win this match or become a number one contender. So why go through all that effort to make her stand out and highlight the one thing that she is good at? She's not good at anything else, but she's good with that. That's all that I really surmised from that situation. Oh, look, she's athletic. Oh, look, she's flexible. Oh, look, she's hanging off a barricade, and she found her way back into the ring. Blackheart climbed onto the top rope. LeRae cut her off, trying to throw her out. They fought onto the apron in the corner. So we got them going at it. Catanzaro eliminated Hartwell. So we're only down to 4 here. An alliance between Kai and LeRae eliminated Catanzaro. Blackheart then threw Kai over the top rope to eliminate her. And then we were down to Shotzi and Candice LeRae. So like I said, they're on the steel steps. LeRae cut her off, trying to throw her out. They fought on the apron in the corner. LeRae fell onto the ring steps. Her feet had yet to touch the floor, but Blackheart kicked and stomped on her, trying to eliminate her. LeRae took a bump on the steps. She then monkey flipped Blackheart off of the steps to the floor, eliminating her and winning the match. So obviously, Candice LeRae is the number one contender. Johnny Gargano came out to celebrate in the ring with LeRae after the match, and they are predicting that they will be NXT's first power couple, holding the NXT Women's and NXT North American Championships at the same time. We had a very main roster-ish backstage segment with Fandango. He's dressed as Sherlock Holmes. Don't ask me why. William Regal was there. He was standing in front of a whiteboard with 8 misspelled names. He pitched an idea to Regal, who was there. Men from 4 teams face off. And then the mismatched guys who win the match will then face each other for a tag team title match at TakeOver. So William Regal warned Fandango against using any sort of silly English accent, but I like the idea. This is main roster written all over it, folks. My God, is the NXT Tag Team Division dead. So the rules of this match are, I'm assuming. I think the rules are, whoever wins this match, for example, we got Roderick Strong and Danny Burch versus Fabian Eichner and Raul Mendoza. I'm assuming that the winning team, their individual teams, will battle each other, and the winning team goes on to fight Breezango at the pay-per-view. I think that's the case. But the way that it was described was that the one-on-one match will happen, and then the match that happens will be determined by the winning team, the winning opponent here. So if it's Roderick Strong, then the Undisputed Era gets a tag team title match. If Danny Burch wins, then him and Oney Lorcan get a tag team title opportunity. I don't know. I don't really understand what's going on here. It just shows you that the NXT Tag Team Division is fucking dead. What are they going to do after TakeOver? What are we going to do after TakeOver is my question. I don't really know. I don't really care. Jake Atlas versus Tommaso Ciampa. This is a match of a grudge match of sorts. A rematch of sorts, I should say. Ciampa was supposed to fight Jake Atlas, but he destroyed him on the outside 2 weeks ago. Really just brutalizing him in old school Tommaso Ciampa fashion. Ciampa wins in 4 minutes. This was pretty much a glorified extended squash. Atlas did get some offense here. Ground and pound by Atlas. Pump kick by Atlas in the corner on Ciampa. Beth was a little concerned during this match because she thought she seen a tooth go flying out of Tommaso Ciampa's mouth. It's probably just a ball of spit. Ciampa bailed, but Atlas jumped, and he tried to go for a leg sweep. He hit a moonsault to the outside. Atlas rolled Ciampa inside, hit a top row blockbuster. Ciampa blocked a move and hit Widow's Bell. He covered for 1, then he got up. He started trash-talking Jake Atlas. He then slapped his head and hit fairy tale ending to finish. And that was it. 1, 2, 3 after the fairy tale ending. A modified fairy tale ending, I believe. They called it on commentary. I don't know if Ciampa botched it or not, but it wasn't a full fairy tale ending. But he hit it anyway. He beats Jake Atlas in 4 minutes. I don't know where Ciampa is going, but I love the fact that we're getting old school Ciampa back. I hate the fact that he's not on TakeOver as of right now, but I do love that they have some sort of momentum going for Tommaso Ciampa. He still feels like a very important part of the show. I just don't know where he fits in. Maybe he goes after the NXT Championship. I don't know. I got my inclinations on that. He could go one-on-one with Balor. Balor seems to be a tweener, right? We don't know if Balor's a heel or a babyface. That could be a great match waiting to happen. Balor versus Ciampa. We don't know if the Undisputed Era is even, a heel faction anymore. Seems to be like they're in between as well. Kyle O'Reilly came off like a babyface on last night's show. So I don't know where they fit in either. Maybe we see Kyle O'Reilly take the NXT Championship from Finn Balor and babyface Kyle O'Reilly versus heel Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa going after the Undisputed Era again to go get Goldie back. I don't know. I don't know anything in NXT nowadays. I used to be Mr. NXT. Now I'm not. I don't know. But thanks to Road Dogg and the main roster feel of this show, I don't know where they're going. Nothing seems to make sense. Ciampa wins in 4 minutes. We got a Riddle Holland vignette during his rugby career. He nurtured an ability to hurt people, and now he'll do it for a living in an NXT ring. So we got a vignette for TakeOver. So Corey Taylor, it's funny how Corey Taylor from Slipknot is the main theme for NXT TakeOver, being that Retribution is nothing more than a fucking Comic-Con cosplay of Slipknot. Corey Taylor's world premiere single, Culture Head, is the theme for NXT TakeOver. Roderick Strong and Danny Burch versus Fabian Eichner and Raul Mendoza. Winners of this match, I assume, go to battle each other for the right to fight Fandango and Tyler Breeze at the pay-per-view. This was supposed to be a match devised by Fandango. Why? I don't know. Again, very main roster-ish. What gives Fandango the power to book a match for their tag team championships? I didn't know they were part of creative. I didn't know they had the same power as Triple H and William Regal. Why? And like I said, every single week you watch NXT, it's starting to feel less and less like NXT. This is one of the many reasons that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. Illogical bullshit. It's like Bruce Pritchard came up with this fucking idea. So, the gimmick, like I said, seems to be the winning team. They face each other and then they fight they win the right, I guess, to fight Breezango at the pay-per-view. Strong was knocked to the apron. Burch was unable to tag out. Strong made a blind tag. He cleaned house. Roderick Strong is so fucking good. No matter what tag team you're going to get as far as Undisputed Era goes, man, as long as Roderick Strong is a part of that, you are going to undoubtedly get a great match. Roderick Strong is one of those guys in NXT, in WWE in general, period, up and down that roster, that will give you a great match every single time. I think it's physically fucking just impossible for Roderick Strong to give you a bad match. And if he's teaming with Bobby Fish, man, I like it. I like the different take on the Undisputed Era, reclaiming the tag team championships again. Having Roddy go with Bobby Fish. The main team, when Fish was hurt, was Strong and O'Reilly. That was the team. And now Kyle O'Reilly is presenting himself like a main threat to the NXT title. I like it. I like it. One of the main concerns, and I'll repeat this later on, one of the main concerns about Kyle O'Reilly and all these guys was, if Adam Cole leaves them, how are any of them going to look or feel like main roster talents or main event guys? And I think NXT is doing a very good job at that. And I hope they continue that with Kyle O'Reilly. I think he's got the makings of taking over Undisputed Era and being the next Adam Cole to lead Undisputed Era. He's just as good as Adam Cole, so why not? Why not? So Strong was in the ring. He was cleaning house. He gave Eichner an Olympic slam. Mendoza broke up a pin attempt there. Burch hit a draping cutter on Mendoza in the corner off the top turnbuckle. And Burch scored the pinfall off that draping cutter. So Burch and his normal tag team partner, Oney Lorcan, will move on. That's exactly what it is. To face Strong and Bobby Fish to determine number one contenders, man. So we're getting a rematch from NXT TakeOver Chicago a couple of years back. Undisputed Era versus Lorcan and Burch. It should be a great match. I'm really looking forward to that, man, because that tag team match was one of the, when it happened, that TakeOver in Chicago, one of the best tag team matches of that entire year. I loved the chemistry between these two teams, and I can't wait to see it happen again. Damien Priest versus Austin Theory. That was the next match. Theory was being interviewed backstage when Gargano approached him. Gargano was encouraging Theory to soften up Priest, kind of stroking his ego a little bit. You know, I see a lot of future potential in you, you know? And he just wanted Austin Theory to soften up Damien Priest for Johnny Gargano because that is the match at TakeOver. So this was a non-title match. It was Damien Priest versus Austin Theory. And this was very good for what it was. I think Theory is great. I think Damien Priest has been absolutely fantastic since he's won the NXT North American Championship. We got Damien Priest down in the corner. And we got Austin Theory hitting a belly-to-back suplex. Went for a cover. Theory went for a cover, and he only got a 1 count. He started yelling at the referee. I knew that. We got a lariat by Theory, standing moonsault by Theory. He threw some lefts and some rights. He put Priest up in a fireman's carry. We got Priest battling out. Ripcord flatliner by Damien Priest. Priest went for a springboard move off the ropes, but Theory recovered and dumped Priest off the springboard. Priest missed a pump kick. Theory hit a rolling drop kick, which looked fucking beautiful for a 2 count. He told the referee in a cocky tone, "You've never seen anything that good." And it was damn good, believe me. I don't understand the rolling effect of the drop kick, but I think he just does it because he can. And it looked great. So what the fuck is, what is me complaining about it going to do? He looked great doing it. Theory then settled into a chin lock. He was working over Priest with some submissions, talking trash to Priest. Big combo of kicks and a forearm and a lariat by Priest. And we got a big elbow battling back by Priest. Falcon Arrow got Priest for a 2 count. Priest focuses a move on Austin Theory. He went for a big discus kick. And then a splash in the corner. Theory hit a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2. Then the action was on the outside. Priest wanted his patented South of Heaven. That was blocked. Cyclone kick by Priest. Razor's Edge on the apron by Priest. Priest rolled in and he was firing up for the finish. And he did the reckoning for the 1-2-3. So Damien Priest beats Austin Theory in a very good match. Non-title, clearly. And we got Damien Priest going to take over to battle Johnny Gargano for the NXT North American Championship. During the post-match, Johnny Gargano came in and attacked Damien Priest. And then obviously after that, we had Damien Priest get back at Johnny Gargano. They were interviewing, I believe, Io Shirai. Candice LeRae came up to Io Shirai. She started talking in Japanese to Candice. Candice was like, I don't believe what you're telling me. Johnny Gargano came in and interjected, "Listen, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I don't like the tone of it." So then Damien Priest came in and he attacked Johnny Gargano. So then we got a tag team match. Again, main roster-ish. Very main roster-ish, man. We got Damien Priest attacking Johnny Gargano, getting back at the attack during this match. And we got Candice LeRae and Io Shirai battling for the Women's Championship. So now we got Io Shirai and Damien Priest teaming up next week against Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. Very main roster-ish booking. So that's that. Isaiah Swerve Scott, he reminded everybody that Santos Escobar had pinned him twice, but he was the better competitor. He wants to do it again. This time, no Legado del Fantasma, no manipulated lucha masks, just one-on-one. Just one-on-one. I was also thinking that should be a great match. I don't think Swerve should win the title, but we'll see what happens. But I was thinking with this mystery vignette, it could also actually be Jordan Devlin, too. Another one that just came to my mind right now. Jordan Devlin coming back and taking what is rightfully mine. Maybe he was talking about the Cruiserweight Championship. I doubt it, but again, people are leaning to Bo Dallas as far as that mystery vignette that we seen last night on NXT. Antonio DeLuca versus Ridge Holland. This one went 1 minute. I'm not sold on Ridge Holland at all. I don't know what you guys think of Ridge Holland. To me, I don't know what it is. He's got spurts of, oh man, he looks impressive. But Jesus fucking Christ, man, he looks stiff as a goddamn board. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the way he moves. I don't know if it's his lack of moveset. He looks physically dominating and he looks physically impressive. And, I mean, I don't know how anybody could fucking book someone like Ridge Holland wrong. But all I'm seeing is some big musclehead fucking freak that likes to throw people around. He comes off as Ryback. That's all I see. I see another version of Ryback or another version of Lars Sullivan here with Ridge Holland. I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to be focusing in on with Ridge Holland. I don't think he necessarily moves well in the ring. I think he looks like a fucking stiff board in the ring. He doesn't move swift or he doesn't flow well in the ring at all. Or am I the only one? I don't know. I'm not impressed yet. So he took care of this Antonio DeLuca in 1 minute. He did have a great overhead Northern Lights suplex here. And then he got a blockbuster power slam for the finish. Couple of headbutts to DeLuca's head as well. He threw this guy around for 1 minute. So this is almost NXT kind of showing off Ridge Holland in what I thought was a reset. He did battle Johnny Gargano and lose, but they won't go back to that. They won't remind you of that. This was more like a reset, but I don't know why I should care about Ridge Holland. I don't know. Not impressed yet. Kushida versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Timothy Thatcher versus Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes. You know. Gauntlet elimination match to determine Finn Balor's challenger for TakeOver. So, this Gauntlet elimination match, man, very similar to what Lucha Underground did with Aztec Warfare. But it's not a Royal Rumble. It's only 5 guys. It's not 20 guys. Now, the decision could come via pinfall or submission here. And every 4 minutes, somebody was going to come down the aisle. So we got Kyle O'Reilly and Kushida. Starting it off, they went to a grappling clinic. Submission holds and grapples back and forth. So O'Reilly went to apply an armbar on Kushida, and Reed went to break it up. Reed came in at number 3. So O'Reilly grapevine Reed's leg to catch him in a submission hold. Kushida with a standing moonsault to break that hold. Kushida went for a hoverboard lock. Reed put a stop to that by splashing O'Reilly with a senton. I don't want to be splashed by Thick Boy ever. Looks like it fucking sucks. O'Reilly and Reed were fighting on a turnbuckle when Kushida hit both of them with a handspring. O'Reilly took a bump off the apron. He was out for about a good 5 or 6 minutes. Referee was asking O'Reilly if he can continue. Behind the referee's back, Velveteen Dream ran in to give Kushida a DVD. Reed came off the top rope with a splash onto Kushida, flattened him like a fucking pancake. So Kushida gets the short end of the stick again. They seem to be picking up with Velveteen Dream and Kushida. Going into TakeOver, maybe? I don't know. But Kushida was eliminated by the big splash by Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed eliminates Kushida. Timothy Thatcher was next. He was knocked off the apron before we went to commercial break. We came back from break. So we got Cameron Grimes made his way into the match during the commercial break. He came into the match with a flying crossbody on Bronson Reed. Cameron Grimes ran wild on Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher cut him off, though, eventually. Everybody in this thing getting all their shit in, all their spots in. All 4 men ended up down after a big chaos spot where all of them got their moves in. Reed with a slingshot sending Cameron Grimes Over the ropes, into a dive on Thatcher and O'Reilly. Reed with a Death Valley driver on Thatcher for a near fall. Reed with a power bomb for a 2 count on O'Reilly. We go to another commercial break. Reed leapt through the ropes with a fucking suicida that took out everybody. Took the souls from everybody that was on the outside. Reed later with a power slam. And I wrote this down. The announcer said it was a tribute to Road Warrior Animal. I don't know if that's the case or not, but that's what they said. And just a little side note here, Thunder Rosa on AEW last night with her face paint actually also paid tribute to Road Warrior Animal, as I read that this afternoon. Reed missed a flying splash when Thatcher rolled out of the way. He did get Thatcher, but not all of it. But Thatcher rolled out of the way, but not soon enough. In the meantime, O'Reilly jumped off the top rope with a big flying knee drop on Reed, and Bronson Reed was eliminated by Kyle O'Reilly. So then we got O'Reilly, Thatcher, and Karen Grimes. They're the final 3 here. O'Reilly and Thatcher were exchanging strikes. Grimes snuck in and gave O'Reilly a German suplex. Grimes was given a belly-to-belly suplex from Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher was in position to apply a sleeper hold on O'Reilly, but Grimes tried to run in with a kick. O'Reilly trapped his leg and applied an ankle lock, so Thatcher had O'Reilly while O'Reilly had Grimes. So we had a double submission hold here. This was a variation of a, I don't know what the fuck it was, but it looked great. It looked great. Ankle lock, sleeper hold, crazy. O'Reilly squared off with Thatcher. They traded strikes. Thatcher kicked out of a backslide. A couple seconds later, he was rolled up with a schoolboy by O'Reilly for a 3 count. So O'Reilly eliminated Timothy Thatcher. So he's twice the loser now. He lost to Damien Priest in that NXT North American title match. And then he lost here. But I don't even think he was supposed to factor into this thing anyway. I do think that he was added as a late addition because of the COVID situation. I don't know why they would add him. It doesn't even make sense. There's no sense of continuity as to why Timothy Thatcher would even be here. So Cameron Grimes and Kyle O'Reilly are the last 2. Grimes immediately after the pin of Timothy Thatcher came in and hit O'Reilly with a cave-in. It looked to be it. I wouldn't have been shocked at all because Cameron Grimes and Finn Balor, man, I was expecting that to be the title match for TakeOver. That was just me. They got a history. I thought that was it. So cave-in, O'Reilly kicks out. He got his foot on the rope. He didn't kick out, but he got his foot on the rope. Just as good as a kick out. Grimes started celebrating like he won. Ref then told him the match has to continue because O'Reilly had his foot on the rope. Grimes started talking trash about Adam Cole, and O'Reilly then got fired up as they ran the ropes. Grimes with a one-man running Spanish fly. Always great, man. I love that fucking move that he does. So then there was an axe and smash spot, but clearly he doesn't have Bobby Fish to do it with him. O'Reilly with axe, and Grimes answered back with smash. So they did it to each other. O'Reilly softened up Grimes' knee with a dragon screw. Moments later, Grimes went for another cave-in. O'Reilly moved out of the way. Grimes had his knee buckle coming down on it from the cave-in attempt. And O'Reilly then got a leg submission on Grimes, and Grimes instantly tapped out. It was almost like a knee bar of sorts, and O'Reilly tapped out Cameron Grimes, and Kyle O'Reilly eliminated Grimes to win the match and go on to challenge Finn Balor at NXT TakeOver. This was a very good match, especially the last, I guess, 5 or 6 minutes or so, with Timothy Thatcher in there, with Cameron Grimes and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly looks great. He does, man. He looks like a world champion. And I am perfectly okay. I don't like this hot shot booking. I don't. There's no story here. The story is with Finn Balor, again, battling Undisputed Era. He thought he got rid of Adam Cole, but now he's got to deal with Kyle O'Reilly. I don't know what other sub-stories there's going to be. I don't know if Kyle O'Reilly's going to really be in position to win the championship. I don't know if it's going to be too soon for him. I don't know if WWE is willing to take the title off of Finn Balor already after just giving it to him. But Kyle O'Reilly looks like a legit star, man. He looks ready. He just looks ready to break out. Like you kind of get that sense of a feeling that Adam Cole is on his way to being demoted. What is Undisputed Era going to do? They're going to need a new presence, a new leader on NXT TV. Kyle O'Reilly is just right before our very eyes morphing into that. And I have absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. He's just as good, if not better, than Adam Cole. So I think that's great. He looks the part. I think if WWE plays their cards right, this Finn Balor match with Kyle O'Reilly for the NXT title, man, a lot of people are going to look out for this thing. Could be a match of the year candidate. Could be the best match in all of WWE all year. Could be the best TakeOver match we see all year. Could give Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic a run for its money at TakeOver Portland. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited about that. I am perfectly okay with Kyle O'Reilly winning. I had Cameron Grimes winning, but I'm perfectly okay with Kyle O'Reilly winning, and I think it's going to be a great, great match. But I do hope that even though with the hot shot booking going into this TakeOver, the stories are there. The stories are not being told, but the stories are there. Some of these stories have kind of been in the making. We're getting those stories, but I want to see stories develop. There's got to be more that encompass these stories, these matches going into TakeOver. Feels like it's just a TakeOver happening for the sake of having a TakeOver. Feels like another 2-hour regular edition of NXT. But I hope coming out of this TakeOver, NXT has long-term vision planned. Where do they go with O'Reilly? Where do they go with Balor? Where do they go with Priest and Gargano and Ciampa? Does Dexter Lumis come back? I'm missing my boy Dexter Lumis. Where is he? But like I said, man, I went easy on NXT tonight because I do feel like they're in a transitional period. I feel fucking terrible after what happened with Retribution. I really do. I think that is mainly the sole reason why I kind of went easy on them this week. I've been shitting all over NXT. But watching 5 NXT talents get buried and killed on Monday Night Raw, I mean, you gotta have some fucking sympathy for them. Really. They're in a transitional period. If they can get themselves out of it, like they did last time this happened, NXT will be all right. I just need them. I need NXT to stop worrying about everything else that's unimportant right now. Worry about putting on good television. That's all you got to do. They've put on good television, but it seems to me that they've steered away from what brought them into the hearts of everybody. Yes, COVID hit. COVID sucks. COVID took away from these TakeOver shows, but at the end of the day, NXT needs to focus on what brought them to the dance. Long-term fucking storytelling. Character development. Stories. Give me stories. Because otherwise, why do these TakeOver shows matter? If the stories aren't there, these TakeOver shows are just as bad as Monday Night Raw. There's no logical booking. You need something to invest in, and right now we don't have that. Guys, that is the portion of the review that is over. Let's run through these super chats real quick, man. Thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up. 364 likes. Let's get it up. Let's get it up to 500. We got Andrew Lovar. $4.99. I hope in the next 2 weeks, NXT makes KOR look like a star. Because right now, from what I've seen from him, KOR getting a title shot is as ridiculous as Jey Uso. Bro, maybe you should go watch some of his Ring of Honor stuff. You got that perception of Kyle O'Reilly because Kyle O'Reilly was nothing more than a tag team specialist in NXT. I always love seeing somebody break out and become more. So I'm fucking excited for him. I really am. Jacob Donnelly, $10 super chat, man. I'll always watch the reviews, but honestly, I haven't watched NXT in weeks and haven't had much of a desire to, which sucks. But based on the ratings, no one seems to care much about it either. Of course not. That's why I'm here with fucking 500 viewers on a Thursday afternoon. Papo Jr., $2 super chat. Thank you so much for going live while I'm at work. No problem, my man. Rock this mic with a $5 super chat. Meltzer reports Warhorse is in contract negotiations with WWE. Warhorse is denying it. What? Are you fucking serious? Bro, WWE didn't even know who Warhorse was a month and a half ago. Now they want Warhorse, right? What are they going to do with Warhorse? You got Warhorse on NXT TV. His name is Eric Bugenhagen. You got your own version of Warhorse there. I hope he doesn't sign, man. I really don't. It's not Meltzer's real Twitter. Okay. Jacob Donnelly says it was not something from Meltzer's real Twitter. Okay, good. It's some fucking geek parading around as the real Dave Meltzer, but it's the fake Dave Meltzer. Okay. Never mind. But my opinion still stands. You got Eric Bugenhagen. Get him on fucking TV. Where the fuck is he? You know? We need the thrash metal maniac, Eric Bugenhagen, on TV. Steve Wynyard. $5 UK, man. NXT abandoned the fans when they betrayed what brought them to the dance. Fox. I'm hoping they pull out of it, man. I really do. A move to Tuesday night would do them wonders. JP, $51.50, $5 Super Chat. Kyle O'Reilly is great at what he does. He is my pick to win the match. But NXT was just boring. I only saw the number one contender matches. The women's match was terrible. And the main event was really good. I'm happy for Kyle. I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to kill it. Sean Planet Stasiak with a $4.99 Super Chat. How do you think we will be a year from now in terms of having fans, arenas, and stadiums going back to normal, and how will AEW and WWE be? I hope there'll be stadiums and arenas filled to 50% capacity, man. At least. Every single billboard I see. I seen a billboard recently. Kiss, the band Kiss, is coming to the Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City next August. So when I see shit like that, it gives me hope that wrestling will be right behind that. I hope so. God only knows WWE needs fucking fans, man. So does NXT. Dr. Glorious with a couple of super chats here, man. 3 $5 Canadian, so $15 Canadian. What the fuck is going on in NXT? I think the last straw was Moro leaving. I hope it doesn't turn into WCW, or ECW rather. I hope it doesn't turn into ECW 2010. Is it just me, or Tom Phillips starts to sound like Michael Cole day by day, especially on Raw? Well, the reason why you think Tom Phillips sounds like Michael Cole is because Michael Cole grooms all the commentators. So that's that. WWE did a bad job not putting the camera on new faces in the women's battle royal. Couldn't even see their faces. They were there just to be eliminated, bro. But even the announcers didn't even know who they were. It's fucking terrible. I don't even know why they were there. You just should have gave us a match that just consisted of who we expected to be there at the end. Everybody else was just fucking a waste of time. Cool Jags, $4.99. Just a quick thought. I don't think Demon Balor ever lost a match on the main roster. That being said, I like this version of Finn Balor much better. This version of Finn is great. I love it. Do you think Candice LeRae wins the championship at this takeover, or does Triple H prolong this feud against Io Shirai till December? I think Candice LeRae wins the title because Tegan Nox, I forgot to mention this earlier, Tegan Nox got taken out during the match. She was supposed to be in the Battle Royal. Candice LeRae attacked her knee. Candice is going to beat Io. It should honestly be, right now it should be, Dakota and Tegan. I don't know where they're going with any of this. I really don't. But it looks like WWE is setting up Candice to take the title off Io. I do think Io is getting called up to the main roster. I mean, what does she need to be down in NXT for? I don't want that to happen, but that's what I think is going to happen. Candice is going to take the title from Io. Candice is going to feud with Tegan. And then Rhea will probably take the title from Candice. I don't know where Dakota Kai fits to all this, man. Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox had a fucking just built-in storyline coming out of War Games. Even Dakota and Rhea. Because Rhea was the captain of that team. I don't know where they're going with this. But I do see Candice winning the title and feuding with Tegan over the title. That's what I see. Indigo. $2 super chat. Much respect, JD. Hope your day is going good. What's up, brother? And Charlie Goldberg with a $4.99 super chat. So happy I became a pledger for $8 a month. You're the man. I'm worried that the masked man with a bat who attacked Matt Hardy on AEW was Sting. Bro, it's not Sting. It's not Sting. Sting is not coming back. Anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here, man. That's all I got for you. That is all I got for you, man. I'm gonna have to get in the Mustang and replay this song all over again, man, just to hear the fucking great guitar solo. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here, man. I'll be on Twitch in about an hour. Gonna have some dinner. I'll be on Twitch in an hour, playing some golf, playing some Call of Duty. Follow me on there. Join me over there. I'll be live. We'll talk wrestling. We'll talk bullshit. We'll talk whatever, man. But if you guys enjoyed the podcast, hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 500 likes here. Thank you to everybody that super chatted. And check out all the other videos that you might have missed down below in the description of this very video. Hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell for all notifications, man. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for Off the Script as we cover SmackDown tomorrow night and the SmackDown post show, man. And then Saturday, Off the Script, episode 344. See you guys later.